Hello everybody, my name is Donna Brown. I'm an Access Consciousness Facilitator, Bars Facelift Foundation, and we're going to talk about truth and lies according to Access. So, Access Consciousness is a set of tools for you to use for you to create more consciousness, ease, joy, and glory in your life. So, a truth is somebody's fixed point of view that they think is right and they want to deliver at you. So here in the United States recently, we saw a lot of people who believed they were telling the truth that were Democrats, and a lot of people who believed they were telling the truth that were Republicans, and we saw the Great Divide, okay? But really, a truth is somebody's fixed point of view that they think is right, and they're delivering it at you. Something that's true will always make you feel lighter. A lie always makes you feel heavier. A truth is not necessarily true. Everybody has their own truths. They are really points of view. So how many of you want to be truthful? Everything that is, can you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So that the second part, the right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds, is the Access Consciousness clearing statement. It acts like a magic wand to just kind of move the energy away, because everything's energetics. And as the energy comes up for the things that I'm saying, we're going to try to just let it go. Okay, so here's the truth. The person you will lie to constantly is you. And before you get mad and say, I'm not listening to this anymore, how often do you tell yourself, oh, you're so wonderful, oh, you're beautiful, oh, how kind you were the other day? Nah, you don't. How often do you judge you? Every judgment is a lie. So guess what? You are a liar. So give up telling the truth to others and be bluntly honest with yourself. When you say I can't, it's a lie. You can. You can ask for help. You can ask for someone to participate with you. You can ask for more training. You can ask for a lot of things. I can't is a lie. It could have been somebody impelled something on you so that you think you can. It could be that you decided you can't. It could be a reason and justification for not doing something else. But every I can't is a lie. So you tell yourself you're not as great as you are. You tell yourself that you're pathetic. You tell yourself that you can't do certain things, and that all of that is a lie. Unless you're willing to acknowledge I am a total fucking liar. You can't change your life, and you can't create your life. You can only create a reality that matches the lies you're telling yourself. Now, I just said you have to be willing to acknowledge, and I use the F word in it. And you're like, why would I say it in that manner? Because it brings up tons and tons and tons of energy, okay? And that tons and tons of energy is that thing that you're resisting and reacting to. And remember, whatever we resist and react persist. So if we don't like liars, guess what we're dealing with constantly? People that lie. Because we're resisting and reacting it. So that energy is coming towards us. So right now, if you choose, you can acknowledge I am a total fucking liar. I am a total fucking liar. I am a total fucking liar. And after you say that, you may feel lighter. You may not. Some people don't feel lighter when they say that. Some people do feel lighter when they say that. What we're doing is we're trying to break the solidity around lying. So how many lies are you using to create your reality? Is it more than a godzillion or less? So all of those, will you now revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate them all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many of you have bought the lies that other people sold you and have stuck with yourself with them forever? Would you like to give that up now? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Why do you tell the truth to everybody and you lie to yourself? Everything that is, Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. All the lies and implants that you bought that someone would come along and tell you the truth and lied, yet you couldn't believe it, you couldn't achieve it, you couldn't receive it, you couldn't get free from everything that had been done and put in, and everything that you had done and put in to create the limitation of you. Would you acknowledge that that's a lie? Will you now destroy and uncreate all of that, please, and claim and own you? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. For many of you, that may have made your head spin. And that just means you went into a beyond, because we've been told so many lies about what we can do, we can't do, we're supposed to do, we're not supposed to do, who we are, who we aren't, by parents, teachers, relatives, society, our country norms, all of that. So you may or may not understand the words that I'm saying. These, again, are not beginner videos right now. But what they're meant to do is to allow you to listen over and over so that you can create something different in your life. So I'm going to say that, I'm going to give that clearing again. All the lies and implants that you bought, that someone would come along and tell you the truth and lied, yet you couldn't believe it, you couldn't achieve it, you couldn't receive it, you couldn't get free from everything that had been done and put in, and everything that you had done and put in to create the limitation of you. Would you acknowledge that that's a lie? Will you now destroy and uncreate all of that, please, and claim and own you? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Most of you are dedicated to telling the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. And you think, if I tell the truth, everything will turn out all right. How many answers do you have that tell you you have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And everything that is, will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. So I was running a body process with somebody, and this was one of the areas where we were talking about lies, and lies came up. And the person was very unwilling to what she considered lies. So lying is a power in this reality. And if you're unwilling to lie, then people will be able to lie to you and use you and abuse you because of it. If you are willing to lie, then you will also be able to know when someone is lying to you. Okay, so this is very important. I can acknowledge I am a fucking liar, okay? I acknowledge that. Does that mean I'm going to go out and just lie about everything? Oh, no, that wasn't me that charged $1,000 on my credit card. No, I'm not going to do that, okay? So this is not giving you permission to lie, but if you can acknowledge that you lie about things, that you have lied about things, that you are a liar, especially to yourself, then what happens is people that lie will show up and you won't be able to spot the lie. You haven't acknowledged it, so you're not going to be able to spot the lie. They're going to abuse you and they're going to continue lying to you, and you're going to think they're so truthful. So I had a friend that married a guy who ran off with all her money after he married her, actually took all the money out of her bank accounts, and because they're married, there's like basically nothing that the police could do about it. But he lied and he kissed her ass, and he was this wonderful guy until she married him, and then he turned into a douche. I always thought he was a douche, okay? I could see that he was a douche, but she was a good girl and she took everything at face value. So sometimes we have these definitions of ourselves that stick us, and then people take advantage of that. So everything you've done to prove that you never lie, everything you've done to make sure you never lie, everything you've done to control yourself so you won't lie, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. When we're speaking to other people, do they want to hear the truth? Or do they want you to tell them what they want to hear? it's funny because I'll just never forget my son telling me, my girlfriend told me to tell her the truth, and then she asked, am I getting fat? And I said yes, and she got furious, and I'll never tell her the truth again. And I was like thinking, didn't you know? Why would you ever say yes? That's when they're asking for reassurance, okay? So it's girl talk for something different. Um, so there are times people don't want to receive the truth. You need to tell people what they want to hear. If you get upset when someone asks you a question about something, does that mean you don't answer them, you get rude to them, whatever? If you're upset, that's because something's going on with you, not because they asked you the question, because there's lots of ways to respond to that. And what I realized was I had some long-term friends. One of those friends is a conscious co-creator. We have been in so many classes together, and we were talking on the phone a couple of weeks ago, and she was questioning something that had happened. So we have another friend, and she tells tall tales, and she makes things up, and people separate from her, and then they go back, and then they separate from her, and they go back, and then they separate from her, and they go back, and they want to talk about her, but then they go back, and they want to talk about her, and then they go back. And so she was kind of questioning that. And then I had one interaction with one of those people that left and came back, and left and came back. I had an interaction, and I knew when I was talking to her that she was we were doing something, and she was slowing us down because she really didn't want consciousness. She wants to be conscious to where she feels like this is what I can be conscious of, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and I have spirit guides, and they tell me what to do all the time, and they're directing my life. And she doesn't want to change that, and she doesn't want to take responsibility for her life. She wants her spirit guides to tell her everything. And I made a comment to her, and she got really pissed off. And she told my conscious co-creator, the friend that's the conscious co-creator, I'm never going to do anything with Donna again. Okay, so I told her the truth, and she didn't really want to hear it. And then there was another person, and we were doing something, and I recognized I'm good at spotting patterns for other people, okay? So a lot of times we have these skill sets, and we can see something really clearly, and then it's like we get all excited because we know we can help them change that, but they don't want to change it. And the part I didn't recognize is she didn't really want to change it, okay? And she was talking about consciousness, but she was also talking about violence and how there had to be violence for change. Is violence, does that word feel light or heavy? That's a heavy word. Do we need to have violence to create change? Has violence ever worked? How much violence has there been between Christians and non-Christians? How much violence has there been, and has it changed? And if all truth, the great ancient truths, were really true, guess what? We would have stopped the wars. Everyone would be living in harmony. I mean, come on. So this person, I made a comment to the person about this pattern that I saw, saying, it could be easier. You don't have to use the violence. And she got really upset. She said I minimized her experience, and it wasn't intended in that way. So what did I do? I texted an apology because I knew she wasn't speaking to me. And then I waited, didn't get a response. I waited, I think, a month, and then I texted another apology. And then I said, can we talk? And didn't get a response. And then I texted one last apology, because generally what I've learned is you do things in threes, and on the third response, if they're not going to have, they're not going to respond to you. But what happens is when you tell somebody a truth they don't want to hear, they're not ready to hear, they get furious. So Gary says if you give someone something they cannot receive, they will return it to you with knives attached. I thought, that is a weird thing when Gary said it, right? When I heard him say it. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. I lost her as a friend. Um, so we don't necessarily tell everybody else the truth because maybe they can't hear it. The reality is you must recognize that the one thing you can't do is tell someone something they cannot hear. When somebody cannot hear what you say, what will they do with it? They're going to be very upset with you. So there's a lot of different truths from which we function. These are the places where we stick our point of view, and these truths are actually lies and judgments labeled as truth. Because in a court battle, he who wins lies best. I have seen that many, many times. So, truth and lies. You tell yourself the truth. You be brutally honest with yourself. And you tell people what they can hear. If you mislabel that as a lie, or you think that's a lie, then you're a liar. I am a fucking liar, okay? But you don't want to lose friends over the truth. And when you're doing a lot of work with access consciousness, when you're doing your own clearings, when you're trying to get things straight, all of a sudden you'll blurt things. And when you blurt those things, that's not necessarily kind to the other people. They don't want to hear it. So remember, be brutally honest with yourself. You name things without judging them. So here is the clearing that I am going to end this with. What's the value of misapplying or misidentifying everything you've misapplied or misidentified throughout the entirety of your life as misapplying or misidentifying? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy it and create it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. For many of you that may have made your head spin, that's okay. That just means that there's some unclarity. Eventually you will hear the clearing if you play it over and over again. And I am going to do that one more time. I would like to remind you this is not a beginning video. I know sometimes I do beginning videos, and that's for people that are that only have the bars. And I did a call with some people from India, and I recognized about halfway through the call, oh my God, some of these people are not at the level to be hearing this. And then they started answering questions, and they really needed to have taken a foundation. Now, there was people in there that had taken foundation, and they totally understood what I was talking about. And I don't ever want to give somebody too much information, because sometimes when you give too much information and they're not ready for it, they can't hear it, or they hear it in the way that they hear it. When I first started with Access, the way I got my manual, my first manual, without taking a foundation class, I got the foundation manual because I had a client that came to me and she says, oh my God, they said I had to have sex with a whore. And I'm like, what? And it didn't sound true, but I was like, what is she talking about? And I said, what are you talking about? And she says, look, I brought the book so I can show you, because she knew I was doing bars at the time. And I read the book, and it was talking about being willing to take money from everywhere. And she didn't get what they were talking about. She literally, in her mind, thought the book was telling her she had to go get money from a whore. Okay. She was not willing, if someone came to her door, she was not willing to do a session with somebody that was a whore. That's an interesting point of view, because what is the definition of a whore? What makes him a whore? Who decided that? Whose truth are you actually looking at? So we have misidentified and misapplied things to our belief system, to what we think, to our truth. But what it was saying was, if you're not willing to take money, if someone comes and hands you money and you won't take it from them for no reason, let's say a rich man just comes and hands you $100, there's many people that would say, he wants something, whatever. If somebody handed me $100, I'd take the $100. Are they going to get anything in exchange? No, you gave me the $100. You said it was free, and I'm taking it. And I would go back at them if they said, hey, you got to do this for that. No, I don't. That wasn't the deal. You just handed it to me and gave it to me. But I know there was a time in my life if someone tried to give me money, I would refuse it. And there was times in my life when I first started and people would try to pay me and I'd say, no, no, this one's free. And they'd walk out the door and like, I'm starving, but I just told them this one was free. And I'm thinking, what is that? So at different times, we understand different things. The more access that we do, the more we have the ability to recognize truth, recognize lies, recognize that that's how somebody set it up for them, and that's okay for them. It has nothing to do with me. It's not going to affect me. So I'll run that last clearing one more time, just so that you get the clearing. So what's the value of misapplying or misidentifying? Everything you've misapplied or misidentified throughout the entirety of your life is misapplying or misidentifying. Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy it and create it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nines, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Truths and lies. So give up telling the truth to others and be bluntly honest with you. My name is Donna Brown. I'm an Access Consciousness Facilitator. I am having an online foundation at the end of this month. So after most of the holidays, right before the New Year's, I am doing a foundation. The energy of doing it at that time was really, really light so that you could go into the new year with some tools that you could use for you. And in the foundation, you learn how to use the tools that will clear you of the stuff that's been stopping you from creating your life. Again, my name is Donna Brown. Please subscribe to my channel and pass this on to other humanoids. I appreciate each and every one of you that listens, and I appreciate each and every one of you that actually sends comments. I don't do them as regular as most people do. I don't look at Facebook every day. I don't do my Twitter account every day. I'm not that person. And I do get around to responding to the comments. If someone's made a comment and I haven't responded, then that truly was an oversight because that is never my intention. I appreciate you, and I want to say, may your life be filled with ease and joy and glory during the month of December. Thank you.